The earliest days of telecommunication systems are where the idea of area code first appeared. The 1940s saw the introduction of the concept in the US and Canada as a means of controlling the expanding demand for phone lines. Long-distance calls needed human operators' assistance prior to the introduction of area codes. In the event that a consumer wished to initiate a call beyond their local calling area, they would enter 0 to be connected to an operator who would manually establish a direct line between the two parties involved in the conversation and connect them with the intended destination. This resulted in major system bottlenecks and delays, particularly during peak times or emergency situations. The North American Numbering Plan, NANP, was developed in 1947 in order to solve this problem. The continent was split up into geographical areas known as numbering plan areas or areas by the NANP. To help with call routing within each area, a 3-digit identifier or area code was provided to each one in order to uniquely identify it. This system enabled enhanced call management efficiency through the automated assignment of call connections to destinations with area codes, eliminating the need for operators to manually intervene. Since then, the idea of the area code has been embraced globally in a variety of formats, with minor adjustments made based on regional phone networks and numbering schemes. Generally speaking, an area code is a prefix that is allocated to particular geographic areas in order to facilitate more effective call routing and streamline long-distance communication.
This is the Sundeep Show.
Time and money savings were greatly impacted by the American telephone and telegraph companies, that is AT&T, introduction of area codes in North America. By doing away with middleman phone operators, this scheme aimed to reduce long-distance call connection times. Prior to the implementation of area codes, long-distance operators were responsible for manually forwarding calls between centers. Long call setup times were necessary for this, including multiple intermediary operators. When someone calls, they usually have to hang up first and wait for an operator to call them back once the call is set up. Area codes were developed in anticipation of a unified long-distance direct dialing system that would let users to reach any other calling region in the country without the assistance of an operator. A person's or a business's location can be determined with the use of an area code. Because of the area code system, it is possible to route telephone calls in an efficient manner, both locally and globally. The area code provides information about where a call should be routed when it's placed. Moreover, area codes facilitate the effective use of the numbering resources at hand. Telecommunications companies can assign a reasonable quantity of phone numbers within each area by segmenting regions into area codes. When area codes were added, one of the most important improvements was that phone users could now make direct long-distance calls, DDD. This significantly increased long-distance calling's effectiveness and speed. Area codes fundamentally changed the way telephone lines functioned. The first telephones were mechanical acoustic systems that used pipes and other mechanical medium to convey speech data. Speech and music may be sent by these devices across longer distances than you could communicate by speaking or yelling. The tin can telephone, popularly referred to as the lover's phone, is among the most well-known instances of this technology. Electrical telegraphs were necessary before we had electrical telephones. Samuel Morse created his own electrical telegraph on his own in 1837 and filed for patents in the US. Alfred Vail, his assistant, devised a Morse code signaling alphabet capable of facilitating electronic message transmissions. The first switchboard telephone line and telephone exchange were built and operational between 1877 and 1878. Human operators worked these switchboards, manually plugging and unplugging wires to connect calls. It wasn't possible to make straight long-distance calls before area codes were added. Generally, in the event of initiating a contact, the recipient would be required to hang up and await a return call from an operator once the connection was established. There were big steps forward in the history of technology when AT&T added area codes in 1947. A direct dialing (DDD) was made available to telephone users, which dramatically sped up and simplified long-distance communication. The development of contemporary telecommunications has been significantly aided by the area code scheme. Area codes facilitate the organization and routing of telephone communications to particular geographic regions in a methodical fashion. This facilitates more effective call management and routing for communications networks. The area code system facilitates the allocation of a substantial quantity of distinct telephone numbers, a feature that is of utmost importance considering the expanding global telephone user population. It might be helpful to determine the general location of a caller by using area codes, which frequently correspond to certain geographic areas. A comprehensive numbering scheme known as E164 has been devised by the International Telecommunication Union (ITU) to ensure that the networks of its member states or regional administrations are uniformly interoperable. This worldwide standard is supported by the area code system, which guarantees smooth international communication. The method works with both closed and open numbering plans and can handle area codes and local numbers of different lengths. This adaptability satisfies both local needs and the historical development of distinct telephone networks. The area code system has had a substantial impact on the development of contemporary telecommunications by improving interoperability, efficiency, and scalability. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Sundeep August. This is the Sundeep August Show. It would probably be harder to live without the area code system. Without area codes, it would considerably be more difficult to route calls to particular regions quickly and effectively. This could result in longer connection wait times and possibly worse call quality and experience overall. Dialing lengthy distances in the absence of a recognized system such as the area code may result in confusion and the inability to recall the correct way to dial numbers in foreign countries or regions. This would make it harder for people and businesses that are far apart to talk to each other. The absence of a standardized system for expanding telephone numbering schemes such as area codes could potentially result in disorder and hint at the seamless addition of new regions or the division of existing ones, thereby causing confusion regarding the allocation of phone numbers. Without area codes, it would be harder for emergency services to figure out where people calling for help are, which could mean they have to wait longer to help people in critical situations. The absence of a standardized system such as the area code could present difficulties for telephone companies in terms of managing and monitoring phone numbers. This could result in inefficiencies and unjust allocations among customers. Without the area code system, call routing, long-distance calling, scalability, emergency response, and number management would be harder. Thank you.
This is the Sundeep Show.